Are you a polite driver? You may think you are, but stay tuned to find out if you have a particular driving habit that is actually quite rude. Saturday Evening Digest starts right now.
From TPRQ World Headquarters, this is the Saturday Evening Digest with Jacques Rocks.
Good evening. I'm Jacques Rocks, TPRQ News with the Saturday Evening Digest. If you're new here, click like and subscribe so that you'll stay informed with the latest up-to-date stuff. We're going to begin this week's netcast with a look back into the before time. This week in history, it was 5 years ago that Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 disappeared, never to be found again yet. It took off from Kuala Lumpur and we lost contact with it. And it prompted the most extensive and expensive search for an aircraft's remains in history. Amelia Earhart notwithstanding. So, we still 5 years later, and we still haven't found it. I mean, they've found wreckage, washing up on the shore and stuff, but they haven't found it. Nobody knows. Extra bonus point question for your consideration, and no fair looking this up. Off the top of your head, no Wikipediaing it or any other internet searches. Question is, the plane took off from Kuala Lumpur. What was its destination? Where was it going to go to if it could actually get there? Comment. Again, no looking up. You've heard of seeing eye dogs and emotional support animals, but in York, Pennsylvania, residents at an assisted living facility have been familiarizing themselves with an emotional support alligator. It's true. Meet Wally. He is an alligator of a number of years old, and his owner, Joe Henney, says Wally is just like a puppy dog. He likes the top of his head rubbed in particular. At home, Wally lives in a 300-gallon pond in Joey Henney's living room, and he shares that pond with his gator buddy, Scrappy. And Mr. Henney says that Wally loves to watch TV and lounge on the couch or the bed, and his diet includes frozen rats and chicken, which is a little bit disconcerting in my opinion. North Carolina lawmakers are considering lowering the bar just a tad for their school districts. Currently in North Carolina, a school has to have at least a 60% grade in order to continue operating as an educational institution. However, if North Carolina lawmakers get their way, a school in any district will only have to have a 40% grade in order to stay open. 40%, and 40%, good enough, hey. In my opinion, good enough is not good enough when it comes to educating our children. Just saying. And now we come to a new feature of the Saturday Evening Digest and possibly other TPRQ offerings. And that's what we would like to call the Dashcam tutorial. You may know and remember that my 60th birthday was just a few weeks ago, and my family all pitched in and got me something that I really wanted, and that was a Dashcam. And I've installed it. It works good. So we're going to take a little video that my Dashcam took and use it as an opportunity to learn you some good driving manners. All right? So watch and learn as we get into this video tutorial. So here we have a white car in front of me, and we're driving down the highway of life, happy as a couple of clams. Traffic is moving fine. Our city fathers' total lack of planning is displayed right there with the mile-long backup, but we're not going to get into that right now. And so anyway, we're driving down, and what I'm going to talk about here is a lot of people think that if you're waiting in line with a lot of cars and there's a red light and you're waiting for the light to turn, then you might have a car that's coming out of a side parking lot and you're thinking, oh, that poor creature, they'll never get out. They'll be there stuck in perpetuity if I don't be generous and kind and gracious and let them out. But, and we're going to pause it right here, what people fail to realize is that their generosity is at the expense of a couple of things what need to not be ignored when you're driving. Think about it this way. When you're waving someone in, oh yeah, come on, come on, come on. What you're doing here is that you're imposing your good manners on the sometimes numerous people behind you. Think about that car 4 places behind you that will now miss the light because of your generosity. And it is actually more polite for you to continue on and proceed and take the thought of that poor soul out of your mind and go. What I'm trying to say is you actually have a bigger obligation, not just morally, but legally, to the people behind you and not to the person trying to weasel their way out in traffic. All right? Here we go, and the car is coming up to the intersection. Now you see right here, up there, a little ways, you can see that car kind of cattywampus on the right, not the one on the left. On the right, he just came out of the side lot, and he's there, and that's fine, but he got there before the next person anyway. So everybody's waiting, the light is red, and well, now the light turns green, and looky here, looky over here. This car is now ooching on out there. And what's going to happen? This little poor soul, bless their stupid heart, brake, oh, come, wave, wave. No, this person says, no, you idiot, it's not my turn. And they say, wait, okay, I guess we'll go. And we all move along happily ever after. But guess what? Sometimes the person on the right doesn't say, no, move, keep going. And they come out and I mean, there's all sorts of things that had happened, and I have witnessed traffic accidents because of the unstable condition that Mr. White Car or Mrs. White Car gave in this situation. Here's my main point, people. If you have the right of way, take it. All right? Don't think that you're being generous and good by not taking the right of way. There is a reason you have the right of way. And that's because it eliminates all question as to what should be done in this circumstance. All right? And people cause accidents when there is uncertainty. I'm actually going to cover this a little bit more on an extended tutorial of this very subject coming up in another netcast. But for now, remember this point. If you have the right of way, take it. It is not being unkind, it is not being selfish, it's being wise, and it's being safe, and it's being polite to the people behind you. All right? From our viewer feedback department, Adidub wrote in and gave us a message about our new grammar police segments, and he said, I loved the grammar segment. Being a fellow grammarian, I will really look forward to and even participate in that segment. There's nothing worse than people who don't write good. Thank you, Anonymous. Actually, his name is Paul, but in order to keep his identity confidential, I'm not going to tell you which of my brothers he is. And now from TPRQ's Consumer Crime Unit, a scam was perpetrated on yours truly this week. I got this text message on my telephonic device. And, well, being the streetwise journalist that I am, I knew immediately that it was a scam. A, because it was obvious, And 2, because looky here. The email from which this text message was sent ends in .cn. Anybody want to take a guess as to what CN is? China. Now, I have nothing against China. I have relatives who are actually of Chinese descent, and that's irrelative. What I'm talking about is that I do not recall ever giving my card, and I love this, your card is bad. What card? My birthday card? It's just ridiculous. So anyway, if you get one of those things, don't call that number. In a related kind of a thing, I know that elderly people get caught up in these things because, well, my dad even got scammed. Well, he didn't fall for it because the apple don't fall far from the tree, in my opinion. He was on his typewriter, his computer, a thing flashed up on the screen that said, "You got a virus, call this number immediately." But Papa, in his wisdom, called an experienced, wise person who knows about such things, me. And he said, "What should I do? What should I do?" And I said, absolutely nothing. It's a scam. Don't call them, don't do nothing. Turn off your computer, brush your teeth, go to bed, and wake up in the morning and it'll be a new day. All right? It's a scheme. And he did that, and he was smart to call me. Don't you call me. I've got other things to do. But don't call the number on your screen either. And you'll notice too, our consumer crime unit, we're sporting our new little slogan, "We're on the good guys' side." So we were thinking about going with "We're on your side," which one local television station I know uses that little tagline, which to me is pretty ridiculous because we don't know who in hell you are. How do we know if you're a good person to be on the side of? So we're not on your side unless you're a good person. So how we figure that one out is we just say we're on the good guy's side. All right? On your side. That is ridiculous. How do they know that it's not a schemer watching? It could be a schemer that's watching that. And that they're on the scammer side? I'm not going to watch that channel. So no, we're on the good guy's side. Finally, tonight, if you're watching this video on the evening that it's been uploaded, tonight is the night we, in most of America, switch to daylight savings time. And I can hear you whining. I can hear you whining already. Oh, I hate turning my clock forward. We lose an hour of sleep. And then in the fall we have to, heaven forbid, turn it back. Oh, good golly. People are such whiners and complainers. I'm sick of it. It's very short-sighted, in my opinion, for you to complain about it because the benefits far outweigh the costs. If we didn't switch to daylight savings times, it'd get dark at well, what does it get dark normally when we're not on daylight? At 4:30. Okay, maybe it'd be a bit later because it's summer, but still. You want the darkness to fall on you at 7:30 on a summer evening? No, now we can go and it'll be dark or light until 9. I don't know how that works. It seems like there's an extra half hour in there. But regardless, irrespective, it's just totally worth it. And it's very short-sighted of you to whine about it. And besides, most clocks reset themselves. I know my phone does. I don't have to do nothing to it. It just tells me it's a new time. It's a new day. With regards to that, though, the Oregon legislature has a bill right in front of it, right smack dab in front of their noses. It's called SB 320, which would say we will no longer flip and flop back and forth, spring and fall, forward and back. No, we won't do that anymore in Oregon. But guess what? They're not going to delimitate daylight savings time. They're going to delimitate standard time. So we will in perpetuity be in daylight savings time, which if you're a whiner and a complainer about flipping and flopping, then that bill might be for you. And plus, Washington's going to do it probably. And California, they already passed, the voters, I think, already passed it. I personally like to do my clocks, and it's a reminder to change my batteries. You know what? I didn't even think of that. You're supposed to change your smoke detector batteries when you do the flipping and flopping. So, yikes. That would be an interesting study. Will the incidence of house fires go up if they implement this plan? Never underestimate the power of unintended consequences. Are we done? We're done. So thank you for joining me, Jacques Rocks, for yet another episode of TPRQ's The Saturday Evening Digest. And remember, like and subscribe, tell others, because you want to stay informed and you want to see more of these. And if you want to see more of these and be informed, like, subscribe, and watch a couple more of my videos. And then like them too. And tell others. If I don't grow, then I'll be gone. Smash like, as PewDiePie says. Smash like. Make sure to subscribe and like my channel and tell others about it, because it's the best thing since sliced cheese. And TPRQ is lit.